sister of thundering Jove. This is the only name left to me. I am no longer his wife. He is always someone else's beside me. Like a widow, I have left the sacred regions of high heaven, and I have given my place to his mistresses, driven away. I must live here on earth because his mistresses hold the sky. I can see each of them in the constellations, his illegitimate sons and lovers in the night sky. One of them has not yet obtained his promised star, my most hated of his stepchildren, Hercules. My hostility towards him will not go away. My violent spirit will drive my long-lived rage, and my ferocious pain will wage endless wars, destroying peace. What wars? Whatever monster the hateful earth creates, whatever sea or air brings forth, terrible, fearful, noxious, harsh, wild, they are broken and tamed. He overcomes them and is strengthened by my evil. He enjoys my rage. He turns my hostility into his praise. While I impose excessively cruel tasks, it proves his divine paternity. I have created opportunities for his glory. Where the sun rises and where it puts down the day, his unconquerable bravery is worshipped. And in the whole globe, he is called a god. It is less a labor for Hercules to follow my commands than for me to make the commands. He is happy as he accepts my orders. What wild laws of a tyrant could harm the power of this young hero? But I am complaining far too much about small matters. We must fear for heaven, so he does not seize the highest kingdom, he who has overcome the lowest kingdom of death, or he will take the scepter of his father. Move! Go on, Juno! Go and rage! Go and crush this mediator of magnificent deeds! Attack him and tear him into pieces with your own hands! And you, arrogant Hercules, go now and seek the throne of the immortal gods and scorn mankind. Do you believe you escaped the river Sphinx and its furious ghosts? Here on earth I will again show you the underworld. I will show you a place covered in deep mist, beyond where even the guilty are punished, and summon the goddess Discord. Oh, I will lead her out and draw from the deepest regions of the underworld whomever else remains. I will draw out the Furies, invidious crime, ferocious impiety, lapping up her own family's blood, and error, armed ever against herself. You, my sisters, you will be the agents of suffering I cause. Do it! Exact the penalty for the river Sphinx, violated by his presence. Break his heart. Oh, Furies, let more bitter flame burn out his mind than in those which rage from the furnace of Etta's fires, so that Hercules, my captive, may be driven out of his mind, abused with great rage, and made insane by you. Oh, by Juno, why are you not raging? Me, my sisters, drive me from my right mind too. Make me mad first, so I am able to do something worthy of a stepmother. And let my prayers be changed. When he returns from the underworld, let him see his children safe, I pray. Oh, and let him with full strength Because I have found the day in which the awful courage of Hercules will please my heart. He has conquered me, and now he will conquer himself. And he will wish to be dead, even though he has returned from the dead. Finally, it will benefit me that he is the son of Jove. I will stand by him, and so that his arrows are shot from a steadying string, I will steady his hand. I will keep his weapon straight, in spite of his fury. Finally, I will help Hercules in his battles, and with the crime committed, then let his father admit that mortal into heaven. Oh, let him have his star then. Now the war must begin. The day brightens, and the clear sun steals from the saffron east.
Known to few is the untroubled calm, and they, mindful of time's swift flight, hold fast the days that never return, while the fates allow. Live happily, life speeds with busy steps, and with winged days the wheel of the turning year spins. The harsh sisters, the fates, undertake their tasks, yet they do not ever spin the threads of life backwards, but men are driven, each one uncertain of his own, to meet the speeding fates. In the end, we seek the waves of the river Styx of our own accord. With the heart too brave, Hercules, you have rushed to visit the grieving ghosts, but at the appointed time, the fates will come. No one may linger when they command. No one may postpone the allotted day. The urn receives the nations, hurrying to their doom.
Many glory and many lands be given to another, and let talkative fame praise someone other than myself in every city, and raise anybody but me, equal to heaven and the stars, and let anybody but me ride elevated in a chariot. Let me be protected and safe in my own land with my own gods. Gray old age comes to those who stay out of the action, and in a humble but secure place there are some dingy possessions even for a poor family. Courage falls from a steep height.
But look, Megara with her hair unbound comes with her little brood of children, and the father of Hercules, slow with age, follows. Listen, you crazy woman, forget about these savage words and endure the power of kings. Although I carry a scepter seized by my victorious hand and rule everywhere without fear of laws which you speak and overturn, I will speak a few words in my own defense. Your father fell in bloody war, your brothers too. Weapons of war respect no boundary. They are not easily controlled, and it is not possible to restrain a sword drawn in anger. War delights in blood, and mankind looks to the outcome of war, not the cause. But now let all memories fade away. When the victor has put down his weapons, it is right that the conquered put away their hatred. I do not ask that you address me as ruler on bent knee. It will please me that you accept your downfall with a great spirit. You are a worthy wife of a king. You may share my bed.
Icy dread rushes through my bloodless limbs. What crime strikes my ears? Truly, I felt no horror when peace was broken and the din of battle surrounded the walls. I endured it all, unshaken. But I am trembling at the thought of marriage to you. Now I already seem a captive. Let chains weigh down my body, and let my death be drawn out by long starvation. No force will conquer my fidelity. I will die yours, Hercules.
A husband buried in the underworld moves your heart.
He reached death so that he would be able to arrive in the stars.
The weight of the vast earth covers him.
He who held up the sky, he who endured so much, will not be crushed by any burden.
You will be forced.
Whoever is able to be forced does not know how to die.
Instead, tell me what royal gift I should provide my new bride.
Either your death or mine.
You will die insane.
I will meet my husband.
A servant is more to you than my scepter.
How many kings has that servant of yours handed over to death?
You think courage is to oppose wild beasts and monsters?
Courage is to master what we all fear.
The shadows of Tartarus and the underworld bury your big talker.
The way to the stars is not easy from the earth.
He is not in heaven. He is a mortal man. He suffered. Gods do not suffer. Whomever you see is unfortunate. You may know he is not a god.
Whoever you see that is brave, you may know that he is not unfortunate.
Mightiest of gods, ruler and father of the immortals, at whose rushing bolts mankind trembles, end the impious power of this mad tyrant Lycus. Why should I make vain prayers to the gods? Wherever you are, hear me, my son. What is this sudden shaking? Why does earth rumble? A deep crash has sounded from below my feet. My prayer has been heard. Is it? It is. The thunderous steps of Hercules.
Orpheus had power to bend the ruthless lords of the shades by song and suppliant prayer when he sought back his Eurydice. But when Orpheus could not resist looking back to see his beloved, he lost her forever. The realm which was able to be conquered by Orpheus's song will be able to be conquered by the courage of Hercules.
O fortune, jealous of the brave, you are not fair in allotting your favor to the good. With what hope, driven headfirst to the depths of hell, courageous and treading on the paths untraceable, did you, Hercules, see Proserpina's realms, the land of the dead?
Death, pale-faced with greedy teeth, has brought countless tribes to the world of shades, and other ferrymen transports those masses. We all pray you overcome the laws of the cruel river Styx, and the relentless weaving of the fates. Let the trackless paths now give you an easy passage to the world above.
I have seen places unapproached by any, unknown to Phoebus, and if those infernal regions had pleased me, I would have ruled them. The chaos of everlasting night and the something worse than night and the grim gods of fates, all these I saw, and having shown my disregard for death, I have returned. What else remains? I have seen and revealed the lower world. If there is anything left to do, give it to me, Juno. You have not given me my hands my work for too long already. Now what should I conquer? But why do hostile guards guard the shrine?
Can it be that my hope deceives my sight? Or that has that world subduer, the pride of Greece, come back from the silent palace of gloomy morning? Is that my son? My limbs are weak with joy, son, certain, although late, savior of Thebes. Do I really hold you? Return to the upper world, or am I deceived, taking pleasure in nothing but a ghostly shade?
It is me, yes. But why are you clothed in filthy rags, father? Why is my wife wearing clothes suited to mourning? And why are my sons covered with loathsome rags? What catastrophe has overcome my family while I was gone?
The father of your wife is slain. Lycus has seized the throne. He seeks death for your sons, your father, your wife.
Ungrateful land! Was there no one to give help to the family of Hercules? Did the world I saved see this hideous crime? But why waste the day with idle complaints? Let the victim be offered up. Let my manhood bear this brand of shame, and let the final enemy of Hercules be Lycus. I must hurry. Theseus, to drain his hated blood. Remain here, guard against any unexpected attack. War summons me. Wait to embrace me, father. Wife, wait. Let Lycus take the news to Dis that now I have returned.
Hercules has gone to Lycus. Only this act of vengeance is reflected in the story of his labors.
Great as the host that moves through city streets, spectacle in some new theater. Bright as the crowd when the fifth summer brings back the sacred games. Bright as the crowd which surges to the secret rites of the Demeter at Eulistus. And the initiates of Attica, leaving their homes, rush quickly to celebrate their night. So great is the mass of souls that is led through the silent flames of the underworld. Some go slow with age, sad but satisfied with long life. Some still can run, still in a happier age of life. Young girls not yet yoked in marriage, youths with locks not yet cut, and babies that have only recently learned to say, Mama. To these, last alone, so that they are not afraid, torches are carried ahead of them, so that death's trip is not so frightening. The rest, move sadly through the dark. You dead, what thoughts are yours when all light is extinguished, and each has felt his head overwhelmed with sorrow below the earth?
Let old age bring us too late to that place, but no one comes late to that land, from which place when once you have come, no one can return. What pleasure is there to hasten this harsh fate? Everyone who wanders up and down Earth's vast space will arrive at the world of shades and set sail on Coctus's lifeless waters. For you, death, all things grow. All that the setting sun and all that the rising sun sees. Spare, somehow, those who cannot be spared. We are all preparing for you, death. Perhaps you come slowly, but we hurry ourselves. The first hour which gave us life begins the process of snatching it away.
But Thebe's joyful day is here. Lay hold of the altars, suppliants. Offer up the fat sacrifices. Let husbands and wives begin the bestial dance. Let those who cultivate the fertile land put aside their yoke and rest. Peace reigns by the hand of Hercules from the land of dawn to the evening star. And where the sun, holding mid-heaven, gives no shadow any shape, he has crossed the streams of Tartarus, subdued the gods of the underworld, and has returned. And now no fear remains. Nothing lies beyond the underworld.
Lycus, struck down with my victorious hand, has fallen face first upon the earth. And so whoever was comrade of this tyrant lies dead, his comrade of this punishment. Now, as victor, I will bring sacrifices to my father and the gods to show my respect to the worthy altars with slain sacrifices. Here, drive the abundant flocks. Whatever crops are collected from the fragrant trees, arrange them on the altars. Let the fat pour forth its smoke. Let's adorn our hair with popular wreaths. You, Theseus, let a branch from the olive tree cover you, leaves of your people. My hands worship the thunderer Zeus. You, Amphitryon, cultivate the founders of the city.
Child, first purify your hands, dripping with the blood of the slain enemy.
I wish I were able to pour a libation to the gods with the blood of the hateful men. No more welcome liquid was ever touched the altars. No greater sacrifice or greater spoils are able to glorify Jove than an iniquitous king.
Pray that your father finish your labors, and some peace and quiet be given to your weariness.
I myself will make prayers worthy of Jove and myself. Wait. What's happening? In the middle of the day, we are enclosed by shadows. The sun passes with a darkened face without a cloud. Who makes the day flee and drives it backwards to dawn? From where does this unfamiliar night put forth its cold black head? From where do so many stars fill the day's skies?
What is this madness that has come upon you? How, son, do you see this unreal sky with your confused glances?
The earth is subdued, the seas cease to resist. The queen of the dead has felt my force. The heavens are untouched, a worthy labor for Hercules. I should be conducted to the loftiest regions of the sky. The highest place is sought. Father has promised the stars. What if he denies me? The earth cannot contain Hercules. he returns to the end, to the heavens. Look, all of the gods gathered together voluntarily call me and open the gates, with one forbidding me. Juno, will you receive me and open the skies? Or do I tear off the doors of the stubborn universe? Is it doubted that I can? Let the Titans prepare war with me leading their fury. I will advance my way to heaven.
Drive these unspeakable thoughts far from your mind. Restrain these demented impulses from your great heart that now has no sense.
What's this? The flame-breathing fury, Erinnyes cracks her whip, and she holds in her face nearer and nearer a stake set on fire from funeral pyres. The savage fury Tisiphone, her head encircled by snakes after Cerberus was stolen by me, closed the empty gate with outstretched torch. But look, the children of the hated king Lycus still lie hidden. There, the seed of impious Lycus. My hand will send you to your hated father. Let the light string set forth its arrows.
Where is this blind fury leading him? He has drawn his huge bow, bent from end to end, and released an arrow. The shaft hisses, sent with such force, and the point flies through the middle of the neck and exits the wound.
I will get the other children in all their hiding places. Why delay? A greater war remains for me and Mycenae, where Cyclopean stones will fall overturned by my hands. Let the leaves of these doors go here and there, torn and thrown. Let the doors be ripped open. Let the roof fall from my blows. There, I have seen hidden another child of that wicked father.
Look, the child begs with his miserable voice, stretching his tender hands to his father's knees. A heinous abomination, sad and horrific to see. With his right hand he seized him, bleeding, and in a fury he threw him, spinning him around twice, 3 times. I hear his head crash, his blood oozes from his shattered skull. And poor Megara, covering her little child with her robe, flees from the shadows with a frenzy similar to Hercules.
Even though you may be concealed, fleeing in the bosom of the thunderer, this right hand will seek you everywhere and take you.
Where do you rush, poor girl? What refuge or hiding place do you seek? No place is safe from Hercules enraged. Better to embrace him and try to calm him with some soothing words.
Husband, spare me, I beg. It is me, Megara. This child, he has your face and nature. Do you see how he reaches out his hand?
I have caught my stepmother Juno. Come, pay the penalty to me and free Jove oppressed within an unsightly yoke of oppressive marriage. But before the mother, this little monster should die.
What do you intend to do, you madman? Spill the blood of your own son!
The boy is terrified by the fiery look of his father. He has died before he is wounded. Fear has snatched his soul. Against his wife now, he is brandishing the heavy club. He has shattered her bones. Her head is detached from her mangled body and is nowhere to be found. Do you dare see this old man who has lived too long? If the sight disgusts you, you have death waiting. Put the sword in your breast, or that club smeared with our family's blood, turn it back on me. Remove your stepfather and stain to your name so that he does not impede your praise.
Sir, why do you enter the path of death?
Where are you headed in this madness?
Flee and hide, covered up, and stop the one crime still left for Hercules to commit.
All is well. The house of the shameful king is slain. I have slaughtered his flock dedicated to you, Juno, wife of greatest Jove. I have freely rendered vows to you, and the city of Argos will make other sacrifices.
You have not yet made an appropriate sacrifice, child. Finish the venerable deed. Look, The enemy stands before the altar, waiting your hand with neck bent. I offer myself. I run to it. I pursue death. Kill! What is this? The focus of his vision strays, and grief comes over his eyes. Do I see the hands of Hercules tremble? His grim look has changed to drowsiness, and his weary neck sinks beneath his drooping head. With bent knees now, his whole body crashes to the earth, like an ash tree felled in a forest, or a dam of rock about to fall into the waters of a river. Are you alive, or does the same fury hand you over to death which sent your family to the grave? Sleep. Heavy breaths make his chest rise and fall. He should be given time for rest, so that in deep sleep he lightens the weight of his heart, the strength of his madness broken. Take away his weapons, servants, so that he does not seek them again in fury.
Let the heavens lament, and the great Father of the high heaven and the fertile earth and the rolling waves of the ceaseless sea. And you most of all, who the earth pours out rays upon the tracks of the sea and dries off the night with your handsome face, burning sun, Hercules has seen with you the setting and the rising, and he has the knowledge of each of your homes. Release his soul from such prodigious misfortunes. Release him, gods! Bend his loosened mind to better thoughts.
And you, O conqueror of ills, sleep. Respite for the soul. Sleep, the better part of human life, swift offspring of your mother, Astraea, goddess of justice, gentle brother of cruel death, mixing falselessness with truth, certain of the future and likewise the worst authority of the future. Sleep, safe haven of life, companion to night, who comes equally to kings and servants, and compels human beings who fear death to be acquainted with long darkness. Soothe his weariness and cradle him. Hold him conquered in heaven and heavy slumber. Let sleep bind his wild limbs, and do not leave his savage breast before his mind has rediscovered its original course.
Look, stretched out on the ground, he turns over savage dreams in his fierce heart. Not yet has the curse of such an evil been overcome. His weary head accustomed to rest on his heavy club, his strong hand searches the empty space, throwing his arms around in vain. Nor has all his ferocity been expelled yet, but it is still present. Just as waves put into motion by a mighty wind maintain their huge movements and continue to swell even once the wind has ceased.
Drive away the mad billows of his soul. Let the sense of duty and virtue return to the man. Or better, it may be that his mind be moved to insane motives. His blind error should continue in the way it began. Now madness alone is able to keep your guiltless. Besides, true innocence, second best is not to know about the crimes committed by your hands.
Let his weapons lament such sorrows. Go, unlucky children, boys, upon the sad road of the famous laborers. You are not sharing in the praise of your father with bloody vengeance against savage kings. You will not learn to twist your limbs in an Argive wrestling school, strong in boxing gloves and strong with bare hands.
Not yet have you dared to fire at the backs of wild lions. Go to the river Styx, the shades. Go to the gate, innocents, who were overcome by the crime and fury of your father at the threshold of your young lives. Go, visit the enraged king and queen of the underworld.
What is this place? What kingdom? What region of the world? Where am I? Where under the rising sun or under the pivoting of the cold constellations? Is this the limit to the ocean that the end of the earth provides here on the western sea? What air do I draw in? What soil is under my worn-out body? Surely I have returned. Where have the bloody bodies I see lying before my house come from? Has my mind not yet dispelled the images from the underworld? After my return from the land of dead, is there still a crowd of corpses that wander before my eyes? It shames me to confess I am terrified. I do not know what is in store for me. I do not know what great evil my heart foretells of me. Where are you, Father? Where is my wife, proud of her brood? Why am I naked of my lion skin? Where has that protective skin gone, which was also a soft bed for the sleep of Hercules? Where are my arrows, my bow? Who was able, while I was living, to take them from me? Who took such spoils and did not shudder at the sleeping Hercules? It would please me to see my conqueror. It will please me. So come out, brave man, whom my father Zeus must have begot, leaving heaven, a new son after me, from whose birth the night stood still longer than in my own. What horror do I see? My children lie bloody, cut down, killed. My wife dead? Which new Lycus holds this kingdom? Who has dared carry out such wickedness in Thebes with Hercules returned? Whoever lives, help me. Tell me who committed this savage slaughter. Let my rage fall upon everyone. Anyone is my enemy who does not show me my enemy. You have beaten Hercules, but you hide? Come out! There is no delaying a fight. Look! I stand naked. Even with my own weapons, you attack me unarmed. Why does my Theseus avoid my eyes? And my father? Why do they cover their faces? Hold back your tears. Who has killed all my family at the same time? Tell me. Why, father, are you not speaking? But you then, Theseus, let me know, faithful friend. Both of you are silent, covering ashamed faces as you weep furtive tears in the midst of such evil. Why are you ashamed? Don't you know? Has the powerless king of Argive's city, Eurystheus, done this? Don't you know if the hated troops of dying Lycus overwhelmed you with such slaughter? I pray that you, on account of the gloriousness of my deeds, Father, and by your name, always with divine authority over me, tell me who has shed the blood of my family? To whom have I fallen prey?
With silence, perhaps these evils may pass.
So that I would be unavenged.
Vengeance is often ruinous.
Would anyone bear such evils without taking action?
Those who fear greater evils.
Father, is it possible to be afraid of anything greater and more serious than this?
You know the smallest portion of your misery.
Have mercy, Father. I am stretching suppliant hands to you. What is this? You shrank back from my hands? Here, then, is the crime on my own hands. What blood is this? Why is that club dripping with the destruction of my boys? Now I see my weapons, I do not ask whose hand it was. Who else is able to bend my bow, or what hand could stretch the string accustomed to be drawn only by me? To you I return, Father. Is this crime mine? Nothing? Then it must be mine.
Grief is yours. The crime is that of your stepmother. This case lacks any guilt.
Now, Father Zeus, from everywhere at once, thunder and rage, you have forgotten me, but avenge, although it is too late, your grandchildren. Let the starry cosmos resound and cast lightning from one pole to another. Let the rocks of the Caspian Sea draw away my bound body and nourish greedy birds. Those clashing rocks which border the Scythian Sea, let them rip apart my bound hands. this way and that over the deep sea, and when they withdraw their place and clash against one another, me lie there without respite as the buffer between them. No. Building a pyre gathered from thick forests, I will burn my body splattered with impious blood. Yes, that must be done. I will return Hercules to the underworld.
His heart is not yet free from the shocking agitation. His anger has shifted and he rages against himself like many madmen do.
Dreadful place of the furies and jail of the dead. Snare fixed for the legions of criminals. If there is any exile further in Erebus, send me there. I will go and remain in Tartarus until the very end. Oh, my heart too ferocious. Who, children, will be able to worthily grieve for your torn about the house after everything? This face hardened with evils does not know how to cry. Hand over this bow, this arrow, this huge club. For you I snap my arrows, for you, boy, I break my bow, and for your shades the heavy club will burn. The quiver, filled with Nerean arrows, will go on the funeral pyre. Let these weapons pay the penalty. You also I will burn with the weapons, you ill-omened hands, driven by my stepmother Juno.
Who would ever call insanity a crime?
Often you would judge such great madness in the same way as a crime.
Now, Hercules, this is your labor. Endure this burden of evil.
Shame, extinguished by rage, does not like this, so that I may frighten all people without my unholy appearance. My weapons! My weapons! Theseus, I demand what you have taken be returned to me quickly. If my mind is sane, hand my arms to me. If my fury remains, Father, withdraw. I will find a way to die.
I pray, by the sacred rights of our family, by my right of my name, both of my names, whether you call me stepfather or father, and by these white hairs which are honored by pious sons to the short years left of my old age, and by my weary years. Preserve yourself, the one strong beam of a collapsing house, the one light in my distress in a life afflicted by evils. No fruit of your labors has touched me. I have always feared for you. Some uncertain seas or monsters, each savage king who rages in the whole world, doing harm with his hands or on his altars. All were feared by me on your behalf. I seek happiness in you and your deeds and your face, Father of you, always absent.
Why should I hold back my soul in this light anymore? There is no reason to delay. I have lost all that is good, my mind, my weapons, my fame, my wife, my children, these hands, even my fury. No one can heal my foul spirit. My wickedness must be cured by death.
You will destroy your father.
So that I am unable to slay you, I will die.
Right here?
I have already shown you how to witness horrible things.
Find forgiveness for one crime from yourself. Remember your actions that have been beneficial to all people.
I will forgive myself. I, who forgave no one on the battlefield. I was commanded to do my heroic deeds, but what you have seen here is mine alone. Help me, Father. Whether duty moves you, or the sadness of my fate, or this spoiled glory of my courage, bring me my weapons. Let my fortune be conquered by these hands.
Your father's prayers have enough power, but still be moved by my tears. Get up, and with your usual strength, change direction. Break through. Now take back your courage equal to any misfortune. Now you must do a great deed with the strength of your courage. Stop Hercules from raging.
If I live, I have committed a horrific crime. If I die, I have paid for it. I am in a hurry to purify this land. Long before now, an impious monster, savage, sour, and wild, has wandered right in front of me. Now, my hand be an attacker, a mighty labor twice as great as your most recent. You coward! You freeze! You're only brave against little boys and fearful mothers? Unless my weapons are given to me, I will burn myself with every tree of Pied thrice, and the grove of Bacchus, and the ridges of Cythera, or all the houses with all their households, and all their lords with all the temples, with all their gods, and all their Thebes, I will bring down on top of my body. And with the city overturned, I will be buried. And if the weight falls lightly on my strong shoulders, and I am not crushed enough by the 7 gates, then I will overturn all the weight which sits in the middle of the cosmos, and that separates us from the gods above.
Here are your weapons.
Look, my boy died by this arrow.
Juno's rage sent this arrow from your hands.
Now I will use it against me.
Look how miserably my heart palpitates and pounds against my chest in fear.
The arrow is ready.
Look, now will you commit a crime willingly and knowingly?
Bo, what do you command to be done?
I ask nothing. My pain is assured. You alone are able to save my child, but you can't take him. I have gone past my greatest fear. You're not able to make me miserable. You are able to make me blessed. Make up your mind. And whatever you decide, know that your opportunity and fame stand in a narrow and doubtful place. Either you live, or you kill me. I hold foremost on my lips this frail spirit, tired with old age and not less tired of evils. Does anyone grant life to his father so slowly? I can't bear any more hesitancy. Make me happy. I will stab my own breast with the sword. Here we have the crime of Hercules in his right mind.
Stop! Now, Father, stop. Withdraw your hand now. Oh, submit, brave Hercules. Yield to the authority of your father. Let this labor be added to the labors of Hercules. Let me live. Lift the burdened limbs of my father, Theseus. My impious hand shrinks from touching the pious man.
But I freely embrace your hand. I will go pressing it to my feeble chest. I will beat back the sorrow.
To what place should I seek refuge? Where can I hide myself or be buried in the earth? Which Nile or strong Tigris or wild Rhine could possibly wash my hands? If Lake Maeotis could pour on me from its cold northern waters and the whole ocean run through my hands, this deep crime will cling. In what land do you hide? What setting or rising sun do you seek? Famous everywhere, I have lost a place for exile. The world refuses me. The stars turn their courses away. Theseus, find a hidden, faraway secret hiding place, since, as a judge of foreign crimes, you accept those that have done wrong. Give back a favor in exchange for my merits. Return me, I pray, to the infernal shades. Kill me. The land of the dead will hide me. But even that place knows me.
Our land awaits you. Mars, the god of war, cleansed his hands from slaughter in Attica and Eleusis, and returned to war. Hercules, it calls you, a land which is accustomed to make even the gods innocent.